Hey, what's going on guys? Butterbar here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Modern Warfare, because Modern Warfare, if you guys don't know, is damn near getting close to a year old, and the only reason I thought about that, and the reason why I want to make this video, is because Charlie Intel, at least I think it was Charlie Intel, that posted on Twitter that Spec Ops Survival is coming to Xbox and PC on October 1st, and I thought, oh my god, I completely forgot that that was even a mode that was being withheld on Xbox and PC. PlayStation 4, you guys got to play this mode the entire time, this entire year, and we're just now finally getting the full game, the full release of this game 1 year out. Is crazy to think about. Now, one thing I'm actually thinking about too, why I'm making this video, is a freaking fact that I wonder what is going to be kept away from us Xbox and PC players when it comes to Black Ops Cold War, since PlayStation and Activision and whatnot have a deal kind of going with the Call of Duty series. It makes me kind of wonder now that I'm thinking about Spec Ops Survival coming to Xbox and PC. But honestly, today's video, I want to talk about some of the critiques I have for Modern Warfare, and things that I feel like hopefully are learned from this game in transition over to Black Ops Cold War. Now, I doubt that will be the case. I doubt any lessons will be learned. I hope there is, but really, I just want to give my critiques of this game, of what I wish would have done better in this game, and what I think would have helped the quality of life of this game, and I think would have changed the minds of a lot of people, because right now Modern Warfare sits in a very divided community, or very divided a series with the Call of Duty. Some people, at least including myself, I really kind of, I put this Modern Warfare, I put this Call of Duty game in the kind of the bottom tier list. Now, don't get me wrong, there are moments I have a lot of fun in this Call of Duty game, a lot of fun that I have in Modern Warfare. I mean, hell, even in this game right now, I think I get like 93 kills. I go freaking ham. But overall, this game just, to me, was just not cutting it. I feel like Modern Warfare was just not the Call of Duty game that I wanted to enjoy, but I think it could have been better. I really do. I really think if there was some more time and effort put into Modern Warfare, if the community had been heard just a little bit with certain things, I think Modern Warfare could have knocked it out of the park. But for the most part, it falls on the players right now that have given their opinions, you know, day after day after day, that really not too many people have actually enjoyed this Modern Warfare game. So really, let's just talk about the critiques I have about Modern Warfare, and kind of leading into Black Ops Cold War, that hopefully some lessons can be learned from Modern Warfare. So first off, let's just talk about single player. Single player was amazing. I don't think there's one single person out there that thought the single player campaign of Modern Warfare was trash. It was amazing. Not only just the graphics, the storyline, the music, the atmosphere, everything about the campaign clicked. And I love that it was kind of a prequel to the Modern Warfare series that we already know to this day with Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. It's really kind of cool to see exactly what was leading up to the events, and also too with, you know, kind of Spec Ops a little bit kind of pushing you towards the beginning of Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Now, that being said, that Modern Warfare had a really great campaign. It does look like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War looks like it's going to be having just the same intensity and same feeling of a campaign from the trailers that they've released. But let's kind of actually cut it back over to Spec Ops. Spec Ops, my god, still to this day was just such a disappointment. Now, not taking into consideration survival being withheld, that's actually not really too much of a big deal to me, in my personal opinion. But the way that the Spec Ops played out, even in the beginning of this game, was just rough. I don't think anybody really enjoyed it. I still think to this day it is kind of in a rough state. I mean, you don't really see too many people, or even hell, too many YouTube videos going over to Spec Ops saying, man, this is how you dominate, this is how you do this mission, that mission, and whatnot. Man, I'm having a lot of fun at Spec Ops. It's really a great thing to kind of get away from multiplayer and play Spec Ops and have a good time. Really, I've kind of just looked at Spec Ops being that another thing that just kind of aggravates players, because people were not expecting Spec Ops to be this infinite spawning, you know, fighting the enemy constantly, just being overwhelmed, and just to really kind of think about it, it was just a really hard mode. I mean, hell, when the game first came out and I played Spec Ops, I'm like, damn, this thing is hard as hell. Like, I'm having a really difficult time doing it. It took a lot of coordination to do it. I mean, hell, you had to have a party of 4 to do it and actually communicate well to complete some of these missions. But really, as a solo player, playing with other players, I mean, hell, you couldn't even do these Spec Ops missions by yourself. Now, I think everybody was thinking that the Spec Ops mode would be similar to what Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 had with, you know, these short missions and whatnot that you'd be able to accomplish these things if you wanted to do them by yourself or do them with a group. Maybe the AC-130, there was an AC-130 mission. I believe it was in either Call of Duty 2 or Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but there was an AC-130 mission where somebody would fly the AC-130 and protect somebody making their way to the objective. And I always thought that was such a badass, cool mission in Spec Ops that really just never, we never had that in Spec Ops or Modern Warfare. Now, will any more, will there be any expansions to Spec Ops? I really don't think there will be, honestly. I think the entire community didn't really like Spec Ops in the beginning, and it just kind of fell from grace after the game, was out for several weeks. Even though they've added several Spec Ops missions, it just never really took off to really kind of where people, thought Spec Ops would be, considering where Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 in the past took Spec Ops to be a very fun, enjoyable time, not only being able to complete it by yourself, solo, or to be able to complete it with friends. And I think Spec Ops just kind of fell short of everybody's expectations. Alright, let's go over to multiplayer, because multiplayer is pretty much the bread and butter of Modern Warfare and the Call of Duty series. Now, in the beginning, I will say this, man, it was a rough way of going in Modern Warfare. You didn't have Dead Silence as a perk. There were other changes that a lot of people were wanting to see. Ghost was still one of those perks that was just still over. I mean, even to this day, Ghost is still completely overpowered. You can be sitting in a corner hiding and Ghost still be active. There's a lot of things the community asked for in Modern Warfare that we really never saw too many changes at all, really, that we were asking for Dead Silence, Ghost to be changed, maybe some weapon tuning here and there. I mean, still to this day, the M4 is still really powerful. The MP5 is still really powerful. It's crazy to know of everything that the community had been talking about for such a long time. It's still really not a whole lot of anything be addressed whatsoever. I mean, hell, still to this day, skill-based matchmaking is talked about. And I mean, hell, I made a video not too long ago about skill-based matchmaking. And it's still one of those things that's kind of plaguing this game. No, don't get me wrong. I know there's people out there that do enjoy skill-based matchmaking. But I would say the majority of players that play this game are just kind of sick and tired of the way that matchmaking is done in Modern Warfare, and it's not done in a way that a majority of the players that play this want to see Call of Duty go in a certain route. So it's still funny to this day, a year out. Some things have been changed. I will give, I will give Modern Warfare credit for some of the multiplayer changes they made. I do enjoy some of the perk changes that they made from Hardline and Ghost, and certain perks being moved around. Kill Chain, I know, was another perk that got moved around. So I do enjoy that. I do enjoy that they try to change out the perk list a little bit, and I do find myself having a little bit more fun with the perks because of the changes that they made. But still, when there's overpowered perks for the longest time, there's not really any incentive whatsoever to maneuver around here. I mean, still, I always find it funny to watch on YouTube that, where that player's trying to move across the street and there's like 17 angles he's getting shot from. There was just never any incentive whatsoever for people to move because of how fast the TTK was, how loud your footsteps were, and really just, honestly, I want to talk about this. Point Man was completely useless in my personal opinion. Point Man, that perk, just earning score, oh my god, you might as well just kind of throw that away. Point Man was just kind of a useless perk that never really belonged in here. Now, Modern Warfare multiplayer, like I said, I can have fun in, but it's just, to me, it was just such a Debbie Downer because there's a lot of things that the community asked for that really was never really handled whatsoever, or still to this day, I get on Twitter and there's beef back and forth between players and developers. I think there's even, for somebody that worked in Infinity Ward that's blocking a lot of people. So there was criticism, even though I know some of the stuff was nasty sometimes, but there was criticism given about this game that really never was really addressed whatsoever, and it kind of just fell short on the community saying, well, I guess we're not being heard whatsoever from the developers. Where can we kind of go from here? And I think this is kind of one of the things that was driving people away from the game, that saying, well, I guess they don't really care about what we think about the game, or want to address some of the issues that a lot of players are complaining about. And it just kind of left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth when it comes to the multiplayer of Modern Warfare. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of people getting excited for Black Ops Cold War, hoping that Treyarch has learned from the issues that Modern Warfare has been sitting in. I mean, hell, Dead Silence is one of those things where Dead Silence is finally a perk again. Ghost works differently to where you have to be moving around for Ghost to be active. You can't sit in a corner and stuff like that. So Treyarch is taking some of the things that the community had talked about that were complaints that Modern Warfare, people had in Modern Warfare, and making those changes to the game. But it just sucks that at the time, Modern Warfare wasn't able to make those changes to where a lot more people were enjoying it, a lot more people were having more fun, because that way the community was being heard. And it just didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like that whatsoever during the lifespan of Modern Warfare. Now let's lastly just talk about Warzone. Now I think Warzone is an exceptional game mode. I mean, I'm not huge into BR, but I love everything they have done to Warzone is just an expansion from Blackout and kind of learning the lessons from Black Ops 4 Blackout. And it's really great to kind of see where it's at. I think it's going to be a great thing to see with the expansion from Black Ops Cold War, and seeing what they're able to do with Verdansk and everything in the entire environment. I wonder, what certain important landmarks will be on the map when Black Ops Cold War releases its Warzone. But I think it's just a really cool mode that I think a lot of people have an enjoyment with. I do love that Warzone has different modes, not only BR, but it has Plunder and stuff like that, that kind of break up the monotony of always wanting to be the survival, last man standing and stuff like that. It is kind of cool to be on that map, to have so many players in the game, and play something different besides BR. Lastly, I think cosmetics are really just a pain in the butt in this game. It's crazy to know of just how much money people spend in this game for the cosmetic stuff, and it's just the giant updates that this game had. It was nothing but cosmetic item after cosmetic item after cosmetic item with really no changes whatsoever to the game. And that's kind of the one thing hopefully Modern Warfare, or hopefully Black Ops Cold War does not go that route, but I think they are, because Activision wants to make their money at the end of the day. But hopefully more game changes come in updates more than cosmetic changes. But guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this game? Would love to hear your opinion about multiplayer, Spec Ops, and the campaign. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great rest of the day. I look forward to talking to you guys all next time.